It is a beautiful day on this Thursday in good old Thompson, Connecticut, where I just spent no BS like 20 minutes dancing to Kendrick Lamar because my man got me tickets to Kendrick Lamar for my 45th birthday. Say less. Shout out to you, Nana Ajamin, because you already know because I keep dropping in your inbox singing songs, but I'm pumped. But that's not why I'm here, guys. I was on WhatsApp. Lots of people. So, guys, the reality is I am connected with people globally. So I have friends in South Africa, friends in Europe, friends in Australia, friends in Portugal, you name it. And people are jumping into my feeds, fear-based rhetoric, right? Or policies, right, that are being presented with fear, which I get, right? So if I look at this from a purely analytical standpoint, which I do, like my gift is, one of my gifts is that my parents come from academia and they taught me that you need to have logic for everything. You need to have evidence and quantifiable data and all this stuff, right? That proves points. I've learned since then that logic will get you deep into suffering. That's true. That we are actually much more powerful when we operate from spirit, which is trust and surrender. But I also get that to hopefully impart a different perspective for somebody to be at least willing to consider. And that's all I ask is don't believe me, don't listen to me. I'm not here to sell you on anything. I'm here to encourage you to consider a different perspective, and that's it. That I need science to prove it. So, here we go. Fear, okay, is an energy that we emit. It's an energy we emit. And that energy is like 80 megahertz, right? So for anybody in the music industry or science, that's pretty low. It's not really high frequency. Unconditional love is 550, but even love, which is with a little bit of condition, because look, we're humans and we have implicit bias and we have all of these experiences that cultivate how we show up and experience the world. Even love, 500, right? That is a pretty powerful energy that you're showing up with. And yet we continue as a human species to bear witness to a lot of the collective, which is changing. And I'm seeing it because I am proof, right, that you don't have to exist in fear your whole life. But a lot of the collective still operating in that really low energy. And as a result, we're seeing legislation continuing to feed fear. Now, I'm not here to judge anybody, right? I get it, like based on experiences, based on limited understandings, limited encounters with different people, different cultures, different ideologies. We operate from what we know. Cool. I fundamentally believe we have a responsibility in this day and age when we have information, right? People say Elon Musk has said it. We are essentially a cyborg, and we are because information. We have information, right? I fundamentally believe we have a responsibility to at least suspend what we think we know and show up in curiosity. That's it. I'm not telling you you have to subscribe to my belief system. I'm not here to sell anybody on anything. In fact, I'm weird and I love it, right? I love skulls. I date a man from Ghana who dresses up as Dora the Explorer and will dance while doing a workout. My kids think I am off my rocker a lot of the time, right? That's true. I get it, right? But that's the beauty of being open-minded and having, coming from curiosity rather than fear. And the reality is, guys, fear is closing you off. It is creating this division, and a house divided will fall. A house divided will fall. I don't understand why Nana likes to dress up in cosplay other than it makes them happy. That's true. I don't understand why some people identify themselves as non-binary, but I know that the people who I have encountered who identify that way are happier. That's the jam. I don't understand what it's like to enjoy eating collard greens. I don't like them unless I've had them cooked badly, which is true, but people love them and they stand by their collards. Cool. I don't have to understand. You know what I look for when I connect with an individual? The joy they emit, the joy. And interestingly enough, Yanko and I talk about this. I actually got a little spicy with him on our last show because he's like, I'm not here to say when people are in suffering. And I said, BS, because anybody who is tapped into joy knows when people are in anxiety, when they're suffering. We know because it's a felt energy, right? So I avoid people like that. I don't think I'm better. I don't think I'm worse. I think that they're having an experience that they're meant to have to get them to where they're meant to be, because we're all coming home to love at some point, whether it's in this lifetime, in another lifetime. We are coming home to love because we are love. We exist in love. We are love, guys. Science proves it. Anybody who talks about manifestation proves it. Like, I manifest my life, right? Working on my belief systems. And that's a thing, guys. You know, somebody could look at me and be like, how you manifest your life? You still live with your twin sister in this room with your children. Well, guess what? One of my beliefs that has been embedded in my psyche since I was a tiny little infant is lack. This idea that you have to hustle and grind for money, and that you have to do it this way. You have to get a 9 to 5 and then work 70 hours and little. And that's BS. But I have had to rewire my brain to achieve the success and the wealth that I know that is easily accessible when you question your belief system and you sit in love, which is true. Why? Because love is a far greater energy than fear. So this is the thing, guys. Like, I just encourage you. Do you feel joy? Because I woke up this morning and I was happy as a clam, right? I still have bills to pay. One of my daughters is going off to college next year. Another one of my daughters has experienced some health things going on. But the reality is, I am in joy all the time because every single moment is a blessing. And I get to experience that because I sit in love. And in love, I don't judge anybody. But here's the crux of it: there are a lot of things that do not make sense to me. Lots of things. I don't understand, right? Why certain people wear certain clothes, but does it make them happy? Cool. I love you too. I really appreciate your comment as well. But no, but seriously, guys, I don't have to understand. And this, I think, is the biggest issue. We are trying to get people to conform, whether it is sexual ideology, religious ideology, cultural ideology, the way in which you have to be successful to make money, the way in which you need to be successful to be fit, the way in which you need to look in order to be considered pretty, blah, blah, blah. And in doing so, we're in judgment, which means we're divided, right? I don't have to understand why Nana likes to do machine work versus free weights. I just know that I'm going to do free weights, right? I don't have to understand. I don't. I think our problem is our logic, our overthinking mind. We think we have to understand to accept, and we don't. Acceptance is accepting what is as it is without trying to change the experience. And I get it. It's a practice. And the truth be told, guys, the only way that I truly learned how to do this is to accept myself, right? To accept the whole of me, the hot mess express of me. And that is the times when I show up in kindness and compassion. And that's the times when I leave a pole dancing show. I'm cold. I look in on and I say, I'm going to crash out and cry for 5 minutes with snot coming down my face for no other reason than I'm hormonal and I needed to cry. And I accept that. I accept the times when I truly disappointed my children by drinking 2 bottles of wine at night, by overreacting, by creating a fear based life for them because I would flip out if they spilt water on the floor. Very highly reactive, right? I have learned to accept myself, and in doing so, I accept everybody else and I love everybody else. Do I agree with people's choices? I mean, I don't align with a lot of choices that people make, but it's not for me to understand. I don't know their background. I don't know the behaviors and beliefs that they've been brought up with. I don't know the trauma that they haven't processed and worked through. I don't know what their experience is, how safe they are. I have no idea, but I do know showing up in love can help them feel at least seen, heard, cared for. So as I continue to get fear-based news articles, I went to 2 galas last week or the week before, and I mean, the commentators were really like fostering this fear-based narrative. I'm going to continue to show up in love. I am. I'm going to continue to show up curious. I'm going to continue to be okay with not understanding, but I am going to show up in love. And I truly know unequivocally in that I am powerful. I really am. And I hope that that truly encourages other people to step into their own power, which is curiosity. I'm not telling you to go from fear or apathy or guilt or shame or anger into unconditional love. I am telling you, or encouraging you rather, because I never want to tell anybody to get curious. Why do I feel this way? Why do I believe this? Adam Grant, I will shout it out. I love this book. I read it years ago. I send it to a lot of my clients. Think Again proposes that we should rethink our belief systems every 2 years. And I totally agree because our beliefs are created by experiences, they're created by family ideology, they're created by socioeconomic backgrounds, they're created by epigenetics, right? Like you're born into this experience. And if you're not questioning them, then you're a slave to beliefs that most likely don't serve you. So I love you all. I know I'm on a tangent. My daughter Billy calls me a yapper. She's like, Ma, you yap. I don't even understand what you're saying half the time. And I'm like, I know that's great. But I hope, if nothing else, energetically, you feel truth. You feel the understanding that love will carry you. You're not going to we're not as a world gonna unify in fear. We're not gonna unify in judgment. We're not gonna unify in um needing to understand things. We are going to be unified in love, in acceptance, in curiosity, in play, in joy, and most importantly, forgiveness of self, right? Guilt and shame are going to drag you asunder, right? God ain't down up here picking you apart. They say Christ died on the cross, right, for your sins. I don't know if I believe that or not. I don't personally give a crap. I just know that when I forgave myself and got out of shame and guilt, I was a hell of a lot more powerful and my life started working for me in ways that I could not have imagined. So I love you all immensely. Please comment, share if this resonates. If it totally doesn't and you disagree, comment and share. I love good conversation and I like being able to hear other people's perspectives because I don't know anything. I just know that love carries me and I want love to carry you too. So I love you all immensely. I wish you a joy and laughter filled day and I will check y'all's on the flip side.